One of the common issues you'll see in Wuthering Waves is that you do not have a lot of crit rate at your disposal.
What is that?
Now this isn't a major issue in the overworld, but if you want to take on high level challenges as early as possible, then knowing these few tricks will help you to get a consistent crit rate. Ideally for most characters, you are going to try to build a 4-3-3-1-1 echo formation. What this means is that you'll have one overlord class that costs 4 points, 2 elite class that costs 3 points, and 2 common class that cost 1 point. And this is to achieve the 5-piece echo set bonus. The issue you'll begin to run into is that you will only have 5% crit rate from your character, 22% from the overlord echo, and a maximum of 52% from your echo substats. This will give you a total of 79% crit rate, but this does mean you need 10.4% crit rate on every echo. And you can add a crit rate weapon to the mix, which your options are paywalled behind a battle pass or the 5-star standard weapons. And just so that we are all on the same page, crit damage is multiplicative, so 150% crit damage is 1.5 times your damage. You do not add the amount above your current damage. The reason you want crit rate is for your main DPS characters, especially the big three on launch, Ocharo, Yunlin, and Jian. This is because they have crit damage or crit rate boost somewhere in their kit. Other characters do not have crit damage bonuses from the Forte page, so you are not losing kit value by not having high crit rate because they are getting attack bonuses, HP bonuses, defense bonuses, or elemental damage bonuses. So to make full use of their kits and not waste the crit damage you are receiving, you need to have at least 65% crit rate, with 70% plus being the endgame level for the first few versions. Now I'm going to give you a solution for each of the 3 endgame modes, and some of these apply to the open world exploration as well. I think we should start with Tower of Adversity because it's the challenge you want to clear as fast as possible. The solution is to change your echo formation to a 4-4-1-1-1, the 2 overlord echoes and 3 common echoes. Both your overlord echoes are going to run a crit rate main stat to give you 44% crit rate, plus your character base, so you'll already be at 49%, so you only need 21% more crit rate across all your substats to achieve a consistent crit rate. This setup can be used on your supports and main DPS. The damage difference between this formation and a standard formation varies between each character. Some echo sets like the Void Thunder and Sun Sinking Eclipse both have more than one overlord echo type, so you won't break their 5-piece bonus for the echo set. Other sets will only have one overlord echo for their Sonata set, so you will have to use Lingering Tune set along with it. This means you'll get a 2-piece elemental damage bonus and 2-piece attack bonus. It's also the setup I would highly recommend for players who are not in the endgame phase. Once you reach the endgame builds, you don't want to rely on 2 crit rate overlord echoes, you want to use the original 4-3-3-1-1 setup. Next we have the hologram boss challenges that you will find in the open world. These will get pretty intense at higher difficulties, so having consistent crit rates is a must for these challenges, and the good news is that you do not need to have high crit rates to start with, so your characters that don't have crit rate forte buffs or crit weapons still have a fighting chance. So because these are open world challenges, you are able to use food buffs. The best food buff and the only one you really want is the Jinsho Mokai, which has a champion Mokai variation. This will give all your resonators 30% additional crit rate and it lasts for 30 minutes. So this food plus a crit rate main stat echo and your character's default crit rate gives you 57% without any crit rate sub stats. You will need 1 hot pot base, 3 meat, 2 fragrance, and 1 mushroom to cook this dish, so it is a bit expensive, but it lasts for 30 minutes, so it's not that bad. There are lower rarity food buff options, but they do not provide as much crit rate. And lastly, we have Depth of Elusive Realms. In this mode, you do not need to worry about crit rate. There are plenty of crit rate buffs you will receive from cards obtained from Metaphor, so running a crit rate main echo with some crit rate substats is more than enough. Make sure you know the conditions for obtaining the bonus crit rate, like casting your echo skill. This will make a lot more sense if you've experienced the game mode, so don't worry too much. That is all for this guide. I will see you in the next video.